Okay, I want to check this game Starfield out. Let's see it.
Humanity has always hunted for knowledge in the unknown. The wonder is, not that the field of stars is so vast, but that we have measured it.
Daddy Bethesda. That's what I like to hear. Alright.
We're all here because we're committed to the biggest question of all. What's out there?
Yeah, I heard it's kind of like No Man's Sky.
You're
but
part
like
of
better.
Constellation now. Part of our family.
We do not fully understand all that is at work here.
No finer group in the stars to be unraveling this mystery.
I'll follow you from here on out, Captain.
Grab jump is ready. I love this part.
These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. Another great secret the universe is asking us to unravel.
Human settlements throughout the galaxy could be at risk.
That's badass. Combat kind
We
of
are not stopping. Whatever lies at the end of this road
looks
will
like the
change
Division,
humanity
like with the combat
forever.
for
This is where we belong.
That looks really good. I mean, Bethesda is historically never had like you know how like Blizzard has these really cool trailers. Bethesda doesn't have like stuff like that. Just kind of like showcases like some gameplay. Let's take a look at this gameplay vid though.
Exciting new Starfield gameplay details have surfaced again thanks to Todd Howard revealing more about the game on the Kinda Funny podcast and an IGN
Yeah, I'm
interview.
definitely playing
and today,
this.
I'm going to give you
definitely
the
playing
highlights
this.
and information as there's some really great stuff in here. Drop a like below, thank you, and let's get into it. We're starting off with modding, obviously a huge part of most Bethesda titles. Todd stated that Starfield is going to be a modder's paradise, and it's been part of the Bethesda DNA for 20 years, with the community still modding and playing their oldest games. He elaborated that modding is important to enable, but also to
Skyrim's like an
participate in
entirely
and make
different
it
game
easy
if you
for
want it to
people
be.
do. He also insinuated that with Starfield, modders will have the opportunity to make it not just a hobby, but a career. So potentially there may be some kind of rev share platform in the works for this game. I'm personally looking forward to Thomas the Tank Engine again, but also the inevitable Star Wars Total Conversion mod in a few years' time. In the marketing so far, Bethesda have said that there are over 1,000 planets to explore, and naturally this raised a lot of
1,000
questions.
boys?
Todd went into a bit more detail about what to expect. So there are over 1,000.
I just hope it's okay. So if it's 1,000, I just hope it is. You're not going to run into the same bullshit again. Like it's just like a bore. Like I hope there's a reason to explore them.
Planets, that's true. And the landscapes are pretty much all procedurally
worthwhile.
generated. The devs made X kilometer square tiles and then they get wrapped around a planet with some randomness and variation. However, there are many individual locations on these planets that are handcrafted and placed specifically. Think stuff
That's a
like
nice
main
looking
story,
weapon.
main quests, side quests, etc. More handcrafted areas, in fact.
This
than
does look
any
like
game
No Man's
Bethesda
Sky a
has
bit,
made
but,
before.
like,
10% of the
definitely has
planets
that
have life on
Bethesda
them,
charm.
and as a player,
What is that, bro? That looks like a fly.
You'll start to
That's
figure out which
gross.
planets are in the Goldilocks zone with potential for life versus a planet that might be mainly focused on mining and resources. Todd mentioned a quote from astronaut Buzz Aldrin, the magnificent desolation, and that's the idea that there's a certain beauty in knowing that you may be one of the first or even the only person to ever visit a planet and discover what's there, or what's not there. Planets will feature biome diversity too. Some planets may have many biomes, others might just have one. The same goes for the creatures there too. Certain creatures can be aggressive, and they've seen examples of predator-type creatures hunting and killing the more passive creatures on the planet. So you might land on an unknown planet,
Do you see that lagginess? Maybe it's just
find
a
load of dead
performance thing.
wildlife, and
I don't
suddenly
know.
find yourself being hunted
There's like a
by a particularly
performance-
nasty creature. Different biomes affect your
don't know.
stats too. You'll have to take temperature and radiation into account when visiting
Ooh,
the planet.
that's pretty.
So your suit and protection
That's
is
a pretty scene.
important. Certain biomes can inflict ailments on
Oh, we're playing Destiny now. Very sick.
you. Weather elements can also come through and mess you up as well. There are no land vehicles or mounts in the game. However, your boost pack acts as a faster way to get around, being especially effective on low gravity planets. The spaceship customization is said to be incredibly in-depth with a modular building system. All of the ships that were shown so far in the trailers and the gameplay demo were built by the same builder in the game that the players will use. Todd said that it's a very deep system, geared towards late game and incredibly complex. It's a long-term commitment if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, but
Wow.
near the start of the game, of course, the basic stuff will be there from the get-go. The module system works from
get
inside of the
crazy.
ship as well as the outside, so you can make everything look how you choose. Interestingly, if you board and steal a ship in space, you'll have to spend credits on it to register and upgrade it in an effort to keep the game economy in check. So while you can have a fleet of ships, you'll have to pay for them if you want to secure them and upgrade them. The base building or outpost system is also said to be just as complex. You can do all of that in the beginning and start building the basic stuff to start, but to get really crazy with it, you have to develop character skills, collect resources, special items, etc. You can even connect outposts in a way between planets and shuttle resources to and fro for building. Outposts can be an
Have you guys played the game Satisfactory ever? It's kind of like this is giving me like that plus No Man's Sky vibes, like if it had a baby.
economy generator, and you can leverage plants and animals to generate resources for you. Starfield runs on new tech and a new engine that took a long time to put together. This
Ham
game's been in
sandwiches?
development for
No, those
8
are
years.
Italians,
Todd
baby.
mentioned how the game features real-time global illumination for
That's a
accurate lighting
W.
and shadows, etc. Also, it has volumetric fog, which interacts with the lighting too. Starfield is locked at 30 FPS on the Xbox Series S and X. The S runs at 1440p and the X is in 4K. When asked if a performance mode was ever considered, Todd said that they never looked at sacrificing game features and scope for a 60 FPS target. The most important thing to them was consistency, fidelity, and hyper detail. Now, how you feel about this? Well, that's up to your
So
preference.
what they're saying is if you're poor, fuck them. You know, get a good graphics card like the rest of us. Start, being better, do better.
Of course, if you're going to be playing on PC, this won't apply to you, but it would have been nice, I think, to give the console players an option for lower textures, model detail, etc.
Yeah, it's going to be weird how, however that goes with
Companions are a major part of the game.
consoles.
And these are the NPCs that will join you and your crew and assist on missions, etc. You can go into great depths with the main companions, but you can also play solo if you want to, and certain traits and skills will let you play by yourself, giving you perks and bumps if you're on your own, depending on the choices that you make on mission and in
Oh, bro, I'm a solo player through and through. I'm playing solo for sure.
conversations. These companions can get angry with you
Until
and
I
the
get to a hard
relationships that you
boss,
have
and
with
then
them
I'll
can
then I'll
change
then I'll
based
get a
on the
companion.
decisions that you're making in the game. You can leave companions behind too if you're getting annoyed with them, I guess, or assign them to outposts far away, and even ships that you're not using if you don't want to see or hear from them again. The romance options in the game are the 4 main constellation characters, featuring full quest lines. In terms of side quests, there's a lot of specific side quests which are story based and handcrafted, but also a bunch of generated missions, some of those spawning when you land on any specific planet. As for add-on content after the release of the game, there is said to be a lot of add-on content coming, including story.
Of course there is. We need to make money. Of course we're going to make add-ons.
Expansion packs, varying sizes of DLC, following a similar DLC model as some of their previous games. Bethesda say that there's still a bunch of features and stories that they want to add. Some quick fire snippets.
Nah, that was a fart. Yeah. So you know what these health bars look like? Like this combat kind of. It does look like Destiny, actually, a bit.
Tier 2,
which I'm not mad about. Destiny gunplay feels kind of fun to play
in terms of
and stuff like this.
A large font mode will be one aspect of that in the game. When asked,
you know what? I'm gonna take all that back. I keep changing it. Have you guys ever played the game Outriders? This is Outriders gunplay. I think it's Outriders.
About Steam Deck compatibility.
Good game. It was fun looter shooter. Does get stale after a long time
crew on your
playing,
ship,
but it's fun.
Yes. Starfield has more dialogue than Fallout 4 and Skyrim combined. Todd wouldn't comment on if black holes were in the game, so I guess that means that they are, and they will feature heavily in some way. There will be plenty of tech lore in the game explaining how certain tech works, such as the gravity drive, bending space and folding it towards you. They get into this kind of thing deeply, explaining what happened to Earth and building a universe that feels grounded and believable from where humanity and where the tech is today to where we and it might be in the year 2310. Gravity is an important part of the story too, exploring how that affects people in the universe, how they bend it, how they feel about that. And I feel like this could be connected to the weird force powers that we saw briefly in the latest presentation. The game sticks to its original vision for Bethesda's type of role-playing game set in space, with one of the main goals being to always say yes to the player if they ask, "Can I do this?" One of the biggest inspirations for Starfield was Red Dead Redemption 2 in terms of living in and getting lost in a world, in this case a sci-fi exploration fantasy. The game is said to be very large with a do whatever you want to do mentality, long-term play.
And that's really good. They're probably taking some notes off of the Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda, and Breath of the Wild. Definitely a very good thing. Because it adds a layer of just like individualism. Basically, you can kind of choose your own adventure, which feels good as a player.
Has been built in from the get-go, meaning
So
they
that's
expect
nice.
people to be playing this for hundreds of hours and years rather than 30 hours and then you've seen.
Well, I hope so. It
everything.
takes them
One of Todd's
fucking
most
14
recent
years to
memorable
make a game.
experiences in terms of moment-to-moment gameplay was landing on an early game planet, exploring for a little while when suddenly
people are gonna
a
mod
sandstorm
this to
kicked up
hell.
and blew through.
Yeah.
And then an enemy ship randomly landed. He got into a firefight with them, killing a couple, pushing onto their ship when suddenly the ship decided to take off into space while he was still on it. And finally, some non-Starfield stuff that he let slip. Id Software, the makers of Doom, helped out with the graphics
Look at that
tech in this
cowboy
game.
hat. I'm getting
and
that
also showed
cowboy
him a
hat.
teaser of what
That's the Ultra Deluxe Edition. If you buy the Deluxe Edition, it's in the Season Pass, but if you get the Ultra Deluxe Edition, you get the first 20 levels of the Season Pass, and then you get the hat.
making next.
I'm gonna get
after
that.
Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6 is next, and then Fallout 5 after that. And Bethesda have some mobile games coming up too that they've not talked about yet, and Fallout Shelter is their most played game ever. And with that said, that's all of the new gameplay information that we got. Hope you enjoyed this one and found it insightful. If you did, drop a like below and help support me, thank you. How are you feeling about Starfield now that it's so close to launch?
Good vid. I mean, I don't know how he got like clips like that. I'll go ahead and link you guys if you do want to check it out. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for this game. It comes out September, right? Yeah. It looks like September. Overall, heck yeah. I mean, this is going to be a fun play. I think we're going to get at least a couple hundred hours out of it, so we'll definitely check it out then, for sure.